We've been doing this for almost a year and a half now, and the groups get bigger and bigger and bigger. The registration keeps on growing, and one of the things we found out in the last 6 months is that companies started getting traction in financing. Now, as you all know, I don't know how many people here actually read the news, and a lot of times it's negative stuff. But the worst stuff lately has been, by the way, I'm Canadian, I'll just get that out of the way. But actually usually I tell people I'm from Nelspruit, but I practiced this accent because when I was asking for money, people took me more seriously. So, but no, I am Canadian and a comedian. But you know, one of the things we've noticed lately is the bad news. I mean, of course, you see stuff like that, Donald Trump tweets and all those types of things that raise the blood up. And me as a Canadian, of course, we're in a bit of a trade war right now with the U.S. as well. But what we've noticed right now in the economy is that the trade deals are being made between Mexico and the U.S. The dollar is stabilizing. The Chinese RMB is actually stabilizing as well, and relationships with the United States are actually getting better. Things are actually starting to stabilize in the financial sector in the world. When that starts to happen, and there's actually some good news that happens, it means we've passed the woes of the bottom of a recession. And so we've been as South Africa really in a recession. We know that, but we're hitting the bottom of that recession, and we're actually starting to hear some good news again. When you start to hear that good news, usually we're already turning out of the recession. So that means that as the economies are stabilizing and the currencies are stabilizing with our major trading partners, that means that there's going to be an influx into commodities. There's going to be purchasing in commodities again. There's going to be construction. There's going to be development. There's going to be an increase in trade. And so all those lows of trades and the lows of commodities that we've been feeling, over the next 12 to 18 months, we're going to swing out of that. Now, of course, if you talk to the big boys, when we were in the recession, as entrepreneurs, you have to ask yourself, did we as the banking industry actually live up to what we had to say? So, you know, you take a look at Make Things Happen, Nedbank, your partner in development finance, IDC, Moving Forward, Standard Bank, Today, Tomorrow, Together, APSA, which they changed their name brilliantly recently. I think it's to Affinicity, which is very unique. But this was one of the logos and slogans you knew. How can we help you? F&B, right? Very moving forward. But in a recession, you really don't feel like they're there to help you. They feel like they're moving forward without you. You feel like, how can I help you? They don't even know. I don't even know. You know, but do they actually have the money to give it to you? Well, maybe in 6 to 18 months. And you know that even if you take a look at the IDC sector, the IDC is very good financing firm, and they have signed off on financing deals. But right now they're a moratorium, so they can sign that deal with you. But it will be about 6 to 18 months before you see the money. Now, as I said, they're doing that because they're smart bankers. They know the economy and the trade is going to swing through at the bottom of this recession. And like I said, with the changing stabilization in the economy that we're in right now, as we've been through this recession, how many people have realized it's been difficult to get money for small businesses, right? It has been very difficult. And over the next 18 months, it's not going to be much easier if we're going into the same sector of asking the bank for money, because they're still holding up for that turnaround in the economy. So we have to start seeking alternative methods of financing and venture capital. And that's the areas that we go into, because they're looking at the ability to take those risks now to benefit in the future. Whereas the bank is there to mitigate that risk, wait till they have the capital, so that they have a lesser risk when they lend you that money, so that they can get a guaranteed bottom line. And so you really need to go after the venture capital marketplace. You look in the industry, of course, I'm not just going to pick on those guys. You know, there is of course Investec. You know, Investec, right, is what was it, the little slogan, no ordinary business, something like that, yeah? And then you look also, there's First Rand, F&B, West Bank, RMB. So I've tried to raise money from many of these companies as well, in mining projects, in major financing projects. And the reality is, if you don't need the money, they'll give you the money, right? If you need the money, you're probably not gonna get it because you're too high of a risk, right? But if you don't need the money, all the money you want is there, right? And that's the reality of the risk side of things. So we take a look, in South Africa we have a lot of different direct financiers that provide capital. We have government DFIs, okay, there's a big list, fund managers, venture capital and angel investors. This one's a little bit more interesting with inside of our sector. This one I'll talk a little bit about because this is who we're usually pitching to, and this is who we're pitching to in the room today. We have private equity, which is also in the room today. We have specialized finance, and we have crowdfunders, which is also, I'm very happy to have Tabs here today, because Tabs has just registered a firm to be a crowdfunding company, and she actually has a crowdfunding website, and she's looking for people to put on her crowdfunding site and help them raise money right now. So these are the types of people that are sitting in the room. This is the type of alternative financing that we have to look for. Businesses outside of the banking sector, the venture capital, the crowdfunding market, that creative alternative angel market, that's what we need to be looking at. What it does is, there's that critical gap in the creation stage that we also have to get. There's a lot of people here today with great ideas, and they haven't finished the product, or they've got a finished product, but they haven't been able to commercialize it yet. And so there's a variety of different capacity developing organizations that also help you do that. For example, there's a manufacturer here today. There's a manufacturing incubator. But as you go into that business model, you also have to find other companies and people who believe in your industry. I've always found the easiest way to raise capital is to find other people in similar industry. So if I was trying to raise money for a software business in the fintech sector, I'd probably talk to someone in the crowdfunding sector who has their own software because they believe in the fintech technology sector that we're working in. The same type of thing is that if I was running a document scanning business and I went to a lawyer or a banker who actually handles lots of paper, or accounting firm, they'd be more likely to give me seed capital in my business because they would understand how to use those types of systems, right? And how they could benefit and save capital from doing that, and the types of problems they can solve. So really, when you go to raise capital,